And good morning, Hoosier fans, and welcome to a disappointing, defeated edition of the Hoosier Morning After, the car edition of Hoosier Morning After. This is Hoosier Morning After Florida State. Your Indiana Hoosiers last night lose a tough one in overtime, 69-67. A game that IU shows its cards again, that this is a team that's going to hang its hat on defense. Defense is going to be very tough for this team. We're going to fight defensively each game. I felt like the fight was there throughout the game, with a few lulls here and there. Obviously, the biggest storyline with this team continues to be difficulty making shots. And that is aggravating. That is so aggravating. It's not like they're getting bad looks, too. It's not like guys are forcing bad shots and everything like that. Just specifically speaking from 3-point. There are some wide open shots that guys are missing. We have to hit those. I don't know where that comes, how that comes. Is that on coaching staff for not developing the proper drills to have them find the rhythm in the game that they don't have in practice? Because I'm sure you go into Cook Hall, you go into practice, and guys are nailing them down left and right. It's maybe just not translating. I don't know. Is it on the players? Where we right now as a fan base are looking, each loss, you look to faults. Who's to fault? What's to fault? Where can we get better? What can we change? Shooting has been the consistent one with this team, with Archie's teams in the past. So it's a deep dive that we need to make. Is how is this? Why is this? Again, is it just the players that we have that just when the chips are down, and the pressure's on in the game, it just doesn't come off right? Is it the coaches not developing that out of them? I don't know. Again, we don't see the practices, so we don't know what is going on behind those closed doors to either foster or hurt the shooting of this team. Speaking broadly of the game, the team came out looking pretty flat, and the great thing was their response from that. Archie took a timeout. I think we were down 8-2 or so, and Archie takes a timeout and gets the guys right. Great coaching there, and we go on an 8-0 run out of that timeout. So it's in these guys to get coached up and turn around and get locked into the game, and that's what they did. And again, Florida State, not making excuses, is a fantastic team and could very well this year win the ACC. So it's not like we were playing an easy team. They're a team known for defense. They're a team known for their length and their athleticism. And I think the Hoosiers handled that very well. They were able to, for the most part, get the ball where they wanted to. Had some great screening action and rolls. Yes, I think the ball didn't get down to Trace Jackson Davis as much as I would have liked it to, but I think that I think that the players maybe didn't see the passing lanes. Again, these tall, long guys, and then that might have been the struggle there, trying to get the ball to Trace Jackson for a lot of the game, or to get him as many touches as we possibly needed him to get. He still, again, ended up with a fantastic game. When 40 minutes, it says here he played 40 minutes. I thought he maybe went out a time or two, so obviously that might be a little shy there, but ends with 25 points. So fantastic game for him. 8 for 15 from the field, 9 for 12 from free throws, 17 rebounds, so he did good on the rebounding side, at least at the second half. I think the rebounding game was one reason that we struggled in the first half. We just allowed them to have way too many offensive rebounds. In the first half, they finished with 44 rebounds to our 44 rebounds. So right smack dab in the middle. I don't have the stats from each half, but I think if you were able to look at those, you would see it kind of split, tail for the tape on one side and the other. Yeah, the guys just struggling on that shooting. Again, it's frustrating, and I'm sorry, I'm in a gap for words right now to figure out where and how we get that going. A few other bright spots to talk about, though. Armaan Franklin, again, comes out and has a great game and proves that he's an integral part of this team and an integral piece that we're going to need, and we're going to rely on him. We're going to need to rely on him a lot more to have games like he did. 9 points, 8 rebounds. He was great rebounding the ball. Had a few foul problems, but yet again, here's another thing to say too. He had to step up and play against their best guy in Scotty Barnes, and he was a fantastic player, and he did a great job of shutting him down. He didn't get over 10 points. Not sure what he averages a game, but Armaan did a great job when he drew that assignment on him to slow him down, to stop him, to frustrate him. I tweeted during the game, our defense is very frustrating to other teams. And I'm not going to be surprised if we don't at one point have a player of an opposing team swing at one of our players out of frustration, because this defense gets at you, and it's great. And jealous of the Florida State folks, because they set up their arena to where they were allowing fans in there. They had about 3,000 people there. It was great to see some candy stripes too, so I know some Indiana fans got in there. Towards the end of the game, when Armaan Franklin would commit a foul, I heard some jeers. I heard some people jeering at him. That's great. I loved that. That got me really excited, because that's if you've listened to this show at all last year, you know that's, again, what I've been preaching, is to have that player that the other team and the other team's fans despise and hate and get frustrated at. And I think Armaan might be that guy, because he took it to their Barnes guy, and I don't think their fan base liked that, his hustle and his aggression. So a lot of fouls obviously were committed. It was a very physical team, very physical game. Play calling was very interesting in this game. All that time that they took to look at time, the clock, was very strange to me. There was a time or two that they'd go over, change it, and then kind of go back and look again and kind of change it back to what it originally was. And then to not, at the end of the game, when Barnes took that drive and got to the hoop, they showed it in the replay. It looked like there should have been more time on the clock. Now, I'm not saying that that's an excuse that we could have won if they would put more time on the clock, but 1.9 to maybe 2.5 or 2.4 is what I thought I saw it as, is one or two more dribbles for Al Durham, and possibly a better look at a lucky heave-ho. I mean, maybe he learned something from Devontae Green. I mean, Devontae was great at those, and maybe something would have gone in. Maybe a hope and a wish and a prayer would have gone in on that. But I don't know. It's just such weird play calling, lots of missed travels, just lots of funky calls. Refs had a very off night. So it's frustrating now. I know a lot of people complaining and hollering on Twitter. That's kind of what we do. I know when we lose, people get frustrated. People want to vent out on Twitter. But this team is going to play again on Sunday against North Alabama. We're going to be back at home. Guys can settle down, get some rest, go leading into it. Hopefully this is a team we can build some confidence shooting against. So I look for that. I look for some domination. I look for some more ball movement. We'll see a very different team, because, again, I don't know much about North Alabama, but I know they're probably not going to have the athleticism and length that we just had to play against with Florida State. The freshmen didn't get to play much against Florida State. Obviously, I think that's a sign that when Trey was in there, you could see that gap of freshman to big-time talent. So he struggled a little bit. He had some good little minutes here and there that he sprinkled in for us, and some good break moments for guys. But he shot 3 field goals and 1 3-pointer and missed everything. Had 1 rebound, 2 fouls, 2 assists, one turnover. So not the greatest game for him. Obviously, he was looking to see how he could contribute and where he could contribute, and couldn't find his role. But again, North Alabama game coming up. I think we'll see something very different from this team, and hopefully they can use it as a positive for them. So I'm just going to keep it to a quick show tonight, or this morning, I should say. Again, you can see I'm in my car. I'm away for work. So just wanted to get something in there for you guys. I might dive a little deeper and talk a little bit more about this game after the Northern Alabama game. You can join me on Monday morning after North Alabama. So yeah, that's about it for now, guys. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at General Chadwick. There you can find out news and information about this show and ask questions that I will try to get to during the show. Thanks for hanging in there for this show for me, guys. Thanks to Bob Thompson for producing the music you hear on the show. That's going to do it for this edition of the Hoosier Morning After. I will see you later on. You guys have a wonderful day, and go Hoosiers. Hotel Coffee.